Nigeria's top court on Wednesday adjourned judgment on the suits filed by some state governments challenging the federal government's Naira Redesign policy to March 3rd, 2023. The presiding justice of a 7-member panel of the Supreme Court, John Okoro, adjourned the suit for judgment after his panel had arguments for and against it on Wednesday. The proceedings lasted for over 3 hours. Now, joining me on the news to discuss this issue is a public affairs analyst, Zariyi Yusuf. Thank you for your time, Yusuf.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
All right. Now, let's get straight to it. What does the postponement of the judgment of the Supreme Court portend for judicial resolutions to matters of national importance of this magnitude?
To begin with, I think, first of all, the question of Naira redesign in the very first place, if you would ask me, should not even have been entertained by the courts in the first place. Whatever the reason is why, especially the three governors went to court, doesn't exactly carry as much weight as anybody would actually say it's got any serious judicial implication, or whether it's an attempt to even uphold the constitution or freedom or true federalism and all of that, if you would ask me, in the first place. So I think the postponement is especially in terms of its implication, which I'd say is more political, which is basically what motivated it in the first place, simply means we cannot take advantage of our own freedom of expression. We cannot take advantage of even the courts, judiciary, to pursue I'd rather say shallow political agenda and all of that, because right. in the whole of it. Sorry.
All right. No, I'm with you. I just wanted to interject a bit because I mean you were trying to expatiate on that, but I want to just further shed more light. Do you think this postponement is actually necessary, especially at a time where there is growing insecurity or security concerns about widespread violent protest against the policy due to the hardship this particular policy has caused?
Well, to be very honest with you, the question of widespread violence, the question of security, I'd say, is not exactly as a result of the Naira redesign, because it's a problem, it's an issue, or even the pockets of violence are sort of localized in certain parts of the country or in certain states, where we know who rules the states and what the position of those governors are with regards to the redesign of the Naira. Now, looking at the postponement, I'd say it's a welcome development. I am happy, and I hope it's something that would even be, struck out. The simple reason is because why exactly are the people up and doing? Why are the pockets of violence? And this violence, who exactly is behind it? It's not as if it's actually a nationwide thing. Of course, I know the media has given quite some coverage in that regard, even beyond what one would have expected. And then it's the responsibility of the police to crush such violences. And I strongly believe it's something sponsored, whether directly or indirectly, by these people who claim they are not comfortable with, the Naira redesign, because the truth of the matter is that what exact bearing has it got with the elections? How has it made the life of the masses, more difficult compared to lining up for 3 hours in a fueling station and buying premium motor spirit for 300 Naira per liter? So we have been exposed to very, very difficult situations in the country. Of course, the rise in the price of petrol, the crash of the dollar, is not directly a government policy. This policy in particular is meant, I think, to deal with a lot of other things. It's meant to emphasize, the sovereignty of the CBN and the federal government on whatever happens to our Naira. There have been a lot of things that have been rolled out, and we have seen especially with the fact that about 2.1 trillion has been cleaned up and all of that. So it's a positive step,
All right.
I would say.
All right. Now,
Except for
quickly.
those who,
All right. Quickly now, before I let you go, talking about elections, do you think
Yes.
this adjournment is likely to have any impact on Saturday's elections in Nigeria?
Yes, it would have impact positively and negatively. The positive impact would be that for the first time in our election, as a matter of fact, in a long time, we would have a scenario where, especially those with, specifically, the ruling party, the APC with their candidate who have outrightly admitted, especially key players of the party, admitting that the policy was actually meant to make sure their candidate doesn't win. It emphasizes the fact that there has always been a long-term plan to use money in the politics, vote buying and all of that. So the positive impact of it would be that there would not be vote buying in that sense. We've had governors like Naira Redesign telling people to go about transacting their business, collecting the same old notes with the promise that if they win, they are going to change it for them. We know that's not true. We know that's just another way of trying to, pursue the same old thing that the Naira Redesign is trying to change as one of the reasons for doing so. And then negatively, of course, we are adjusting to, the cashless transaction kind of thing. I've been to the open market, I've been to parks, I've bought things, and I see how Nigerians are adjusting to it. So it's actually the clamor for it is not called for to a large extent.
All right, Yusuf, I'm sorry, but we are pressed with time. I may just have to let you go, but thank you so much for the insight you have given us this morning.
Well, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. That was Zariyi Yusuf, actually a policy analyst, and of course talking about the Naira redesign.